Hi ladies, I'm Sharda and I'm going to be talking about the next topic in my pregnancy series, and it's going to be about preparing your body and basically your body and yourself for labor, delivery, and postpartum. So the first thing, I'm going to jump right into it because I don't want to waste any time and I need to stack everything into one video, okay? Well, the first thing I'm going to be talking about is exercise. Now, you hear people say this all the time. Exercise, you want a healthy pregnancy, you need to exercise, you need to do this, do that. And you know what? During pregnancy, I don't think anyone really focuses on what type of exercise that a pregnant woman should be doing. At first, with my first pregnancy, I really thought exercise meant, really exerting my body. You see a woman going to the gym, lifting those weights, and we fail to realize that the muscle that we really need to exercise and relax and stretch is not in our arms, it's not on our back, it's not on our abdomen, it's not in our thighs, it's more around our hips and something we call the pelvic floor. So what is really involved in childbearing and getting that baby well positioned? The area around the pelvic region is where you would want to focus more your exercises. Places like the lower back, the sacrum, the hips, and the pelvic floor muscles. So I'm gonna try to point out what area I'm really talking about. And please, I'm not a medical professional or anything. I have had a vast background in sciences. I've done every science you could think about in, school and early college. So sometimes I use that knowledge that I gained to really help myself in everyday life and even in cooking. I use chemistry in all sorts of things, okay? So because I have that what should I say, preliminary, because I have that preliminary knowledge, I am able to speak from that place of understanding. So don't replace your doctor with me. You need to do your own research and whatnot, okay? So I'm going to show you a picture. And this is what I pulled up. Now, if I'm correct, this is your vaginal opening right here. And then you have your anal, your rectum, your anus opening somewhere back there, right? These red muscles and ligaments that you see stretching across there, they're collectively referred to as your pelvic floor muscles, okay? Now that is what we want to focus on, especially if you are a first-time mom. You're gonna hear people talking about Kegel exercises. Basically what that does is tightens the region around there, okay? And you don't want these muscles here to be tight. You want them to be flexible and relaxed, okay? So that it will make it easier for birth. So you are going to want to avoid Kegel exercises. Kegel exercises are exercises where you get that basically, I'm just going to mention it quickly. You do it, you feel like it's that kind of muscle that stops your stream of urine, and then you just contract that multiple times a day. Some women use balls to little balls to do Kegels. I'm not interested in all of that, but you know, some women are really serious about Kegels, and you hear that all the time. You do not need that during pregnancy. You're going to need that after pregnancy when everything's stretched out and you want to tighten that area again. So please avoid tightening those muscles. The exercises you want to focus on are opening your hips, visualizing your hips opening while you try to open your hips. And I'm not talking about this like it's meditation. It's really not. You're just going to relax yourself just like you would any other exercise, okay? You're going to want to practice sitting with your legs open a lot. You know, I wear skirts, so it's really not a big deal with me, and I hardly go lots of places, so it's not awkward for me to just sit and just relax my legs, you know. You're going to want to focus on that. Focus on sitting like this, with your shoulders back, your belly out, giving that baby space to move about. Make it a practice. If your lower back hurts, you're going to want to try to alleviate that with some kind of cushion or pillow, or you know, something soft. Give yourself some massages. For back pain, that comes for me later in pregnancy. So what I do, I take a really warm shower. I start with the water hot, and I just lean forward and let the shower run on my lower back, and that helps me a lot with back pain. Okay? Another thing you're going to want to do is pelvic circles, you know, doing this thing from side to side. Anything, you're going to want to look up exercises that relax and stretch the hips. You're going to want to look for exercises that relax and stretch the pelvic floor muscles. Now for me, what I have been doing is just, you know, I already experienced pregnancy and delivery, so I'm pretty much stretched from that. But I like to just do those things that I mentioned and relax my pelvic floor. Okay, so the next thing I want to mention to get ready for labor and delivery is something I call the sits. It's called the sits bath, right? Basically, what it is something that people do a lot when they have problems with hemorrhoids and, you know, rectal pains and issues. And I know already in pregnancy some of you are experiencing constipation. I don't, because I have a really good diet sorted out for myself based on what my body prefers, and I did that early in pregnancy, and I am going to share that information with you in the following video. But for now, let's get back to the sits bath. So here I have a little tubby. This is a little tubby. You're gonna need something like this, or something you can sit comfortably in. This is not very comfortable, but it fits in my bathroom, and I can position my butt into this thing, okay? So you're gonna want one of these, and what you're gonna do is use water that's a little bit warmer than lukewarm. So you're gonna want it on the hot side, okay? And what I do, I have here a bottle of witch hazel. This is a witch hazel solution. It's very good for irritated skin and all those things, and removes impurities. It's not going to affect your vaginal makeup down there. So I have this. I do a good sprinkle in there. I fill the tub up about 3/4 the way. And I have some tea tree oil. This is my oil of choice because it's antiseptic. And it helps me to, I don't know, I just like it. It's a little bit tingly, so please do not use a lot. I just use 3 drops, 1, 2, 3. It's very potent, and you do not want to leave this where anyone can ingest it because it's very toxic if you ingest it, okay? And I have here some vitamin E oil, very good for stretching skin and making skin supple and nice. Put that into there. Then bloop bloop bloop, mix it around. And you have there a nice concoction to put your pelvic floor muscles into. Remember I showed you, it's the region between the legs. So you're going to want to squat into this tubby with that good stuff in there, into the hot water, and just ease yourself into it and relax. And it really relaxes those muscles down there, and it helps with the you're going to want to focus on the sensation that you get as those muscles relax, and remember that sensation so that you can replicate that while you're giving birth. You don't want to tense up. Just how it feels when that warm water is there and it relaxes those muscles is how you will want to let those muscles relax once you're experiencing labor pains. Okay? And that's what I've been using for muscle relaxation. You can start it early if you got problems with constipation. But I don't have that problem, and I haven't had it throughout the pregnancy. And I'll share with you later why. But I say if you don't have that problem, it's good to start the sitz baths at around 30 weeks, 29 weeks, you know, leading up to labor and delivery. Let's move along. So, the next thing I'm going to talk about is teas. Now, preparing for labor and delivery with teas. The 2 teas that I know for sure will not affect the birth of your baby or your baby in your belly, that is good for pregnancy and good for consuming almost every day, is red raspberry leaf tea, which is good for you don't want to take it too strong. You want to take weak brews of it, you know, every day, however many times you want. And if you're gonna use it as a tonic during labor, you're gonna want a very, very, very strong brew of it. And I've heard that it helps with bleeding after labor, and it helps just keep everything going along the way it should, and it's also very good for you. Another tea that's really good for you is nettle leaf tea. I haven't been able to get my hands on it. I wanted to order it. I just didn't. I don't know why, but if I could, I would have nettle leaf tea. Okay, that is very good for nourishing the body, getting ready for baby, and so on and so forth. And you can take it after pregnancy as well. Make sure to do your research on nettle leaf tea. And, you know, but the tea that I have been using with this pregnancy, I'm gonna show you 2 teas. This one here is my tea of choice. Well, I would choose the other teas as well. I'm really a tea person. I love different types of teas. Unfortunately, not all are safe for pregnancy, so I stay on the safe side with this. I don't think chamomile is as safe as everyone thinks it is during pregnancy. When I had my twins, I would get light contractions with it, and I also avoided it with my second pregnancy. So I don't use chamomile tea during pregnancy anymore since that experience. I have been taking this. If you're a coffee fan and you don't want to ingest coffee while you're pregnant, this is a really good substitute. If you brew it strong enough, it tastes like a weak version of coffee, like a light coffee, and it's a very tasty tea. I take it all the time, and it says here it helps with digestive support, stimulates liver and healthy digestion. Good, works for me. Now, this tea here, I found out about this tea through a brother of my husband. Actually, he's a friend, but we call most of the male friends brothers, okay? So, he's a friend, and he gifted my husband this tea to help him relax and so on. It's a very natural thing, very natural supplement. Now, this is not safe during pregnancy. So you do not, in fact, if you don't feel comfortable, don't even use it at all. But whenever I felt like, if you have other children, that feeling when you're really tired at the end of the day and you can't really sleep because your belly is here and your belly is there and the baby's moving around and you're just frustrated, this is just as good as a sleeping pill. I mean, just 1 cup of it and I'm ready to go to bed. And if you're not pregnant, you have no problem. Knock yourself out. It's a very good tea, very effective. Okay? The next thing I'm going to talk about is supplements during pregnancy. Now, there are so many supplements that you could take during pregnancy. I am just taking just what I think my body needs. I did use a natural multivitamin during the earlier stages of pregnancy, but that's done, so I'm over it, and I got a good thing going with my diet. I don't think I need it. So basically, I have these supplements here. Okay, this is what I've been using throughout my pregnancy. This is nutritional yeast. Very good source of folate, B12. It's got a lot of B vitamins in here. B1, I see B6, I see B5. Very good stuff. Very, very good stuff. I use it on my food. It is very reminiscent of cheese, and I don't use a lot of dairy, so that is good for me. This is another supplement. This is B12. Very it's a natural supplement, so I'm trying to do the least processed thing I can come across. It's really my husband's supplement, but he feeds it to me, so I take it, okay? And I usually take a natural source of vitamin D in the form of gummies, because earlier in my pregnancy I was craving gummy bears and I just couldn't bring myself to eat the processed gummy bears, so I bought gummy vitamin D supplements, and that's done. So I have this one left. I have been taking vitamin D throughout my pregnancy because we just came out of winter and I wasn't getting enough sunlight, so I decided to supplement. Here I have something I enjoy a lot. Now, many people may not like the taste of molasses. I have organic blackstrap unsulfurated molasses. Very good stuff. I get mine from jet.com. And it's a very good source of magnesium, iron, and B vitamins. Now, why am I stocking up on so many B vitamins? Because it's very good for women, especially for hormonal issues and so on and so forth. B vitamins are very good for skin, hair, hormones, emotions, you name it, very good. And it's also very easy to become deficient in them. So that's why I choose those supplements to take. And the last one I have here is spirulina powder. When I can't get enough greens into my diet, I just throw some of this into a smoothie and drink it so that I can have the benefits of vegetables in my diet. Okay? Now, I may do my labor and postpartum kit and other things related to postpartum in another video, because I see this is getting long. So let's go on to the next thing. The next point is to have a positive mindset. Preparing for labor and delivery, it's always good to be prayerful, be very prayerful, be very connected to the Lord. You don't want to be all over the place with your sin life. You know, if you're not religious and you're watching this video, I suggest that you really stop and think about what you want during this pregnancy, and if you're gonna listen to all the people and be frantic about the things that they tell you, or you're gonna take control of this pregnancy and allow God to help you along this way with wisdom and with strength and with a positive attitude towards labor and delivery. It's good to remember that many women before us have done this. Many women, and if they can do it, you can do it too. We're all women and we're all made strong, okay? The strength of a woman does not lie in what she can do better than men. The strength of a woman lies in her femininity and womanhood and the way she handles it and takes charge of it. And it's a very different concept from the one that we have come to know in these days. Okay, so really remember that. That's all I'm going to say on that topic. Preparing for labor and delivery, snacks and drinks. Okay, now I wanted to show you, really. Okay, during labor, I eat, but I don't eat food. I don't eat greasy stuff. I'm just gonna tell you about a few snacks that I would eat during labor and delivery. I would eat bananas, very rich source of potassium. During labor and delivery, if you're not going to have an IV in your hand, if you're not going to be in a hospital where an IV is mandatory, and you're going to labor at home for as long as possible, you're not a high-risk pregnancy, and you're confident that your body can do what it will to birth that baby, then it's okay for you to labor at home for as long as you can and eat during the labor. So bananas are a good choice. High in potassium, you want to have vitamins like potassium, things rich in vitamin C, which reduces a lot of the bleeding during or after delivery. You're going to want to have a lot of things with calcium and magnesium in it. Anything that will help as an electrolyte to, get that body hydrated and running during labor. there's a reason they call it labor. Your body's doing work, so you need to fuel that work, all right? So things like I did a date bar recipe. I have my freezer stocked with those right now. I have about 36 date bars in my freezer, and I'm going to be doing a lot more so that I can have a stock after birth also. And I don't have a long time for this baby to come, so if you understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, the date bars, very good. Dates are very good for pregnancy. They're a high source of potassium also and all other minerals. You're gonna want to have Himalayan salt, and I'm gonna do a tutorial on how to do one of those drinks. I'm gonna make a homemade Gatorade, and that's what I'm gonna be drinking during pregnancy. I have some rhubarb that's very high in vitamin C and calcium. I got it in my frozen section at the grocery store. And you can use oranges. Oranges are very high in calcium and vitamin C. That combination, very good for labor, active labor. So you might want to do some orange juice or some rhubarb, add a natural sweetener to it, put a few sprinkles of that raw Himalayan salt, lots of trace minerals in it, and you're going to want to mix that up and use that as your electrolyte. You can also add coconut water to it. Very good source of potassium and magnesium and those trace minerals. And make a combination of that. Label it as your pregnancy tonic, push tonic. I'm gonna name mine push tonic. And just plop it in your freezer or put them in ice cubes and put them into a Ziploc bag after they're done. Store them in the freezer whenever you go into labor. Ask your husband, your midwife, whoever is with you to take those cubes out, put some in a glass, and you will have continuous amount of that mineral rich fluid going into your body. Okay, very important for labor and delivery and even after that. Okay, and I think I have covered everything that you should know for labor and delivery, and I'm going to come back with another video with my postpartum kit and preparing for postpartum and all that good stuff. So I hope that you learned something today. Very minimal things I have here. Doesn't cost much, didn't spend a lot of money, and I'm getting what I need to deliver the baby. Okay, so have a good day, be blessed, and happy pregnancy. Bye.